Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw Overrun.
Did you fix the graphic, or did it freeze?
What's wrong?
The Overrun graphic, it didn't go back to you.
Oh, it's different every time. Every time it either does a flash frame, sometimes it's you, sometimes it's me. It's all over the place.
Weird.
I have no idea what's going on.
Weird.
But
Botch.
I like that.
Botch.
Unpredictable.
Botch.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks so much to the patrons out there watching this. We really appreciate it, and we desperately need your support.
Yes.
In this time of man. We're going to talk about this later. I figured that today on Overrun we could just talk about the machinima stuff.
All right, that's fair.
It'll be like a mini. Do you guys? Anybody here ever see FriendoCast or Podcast for the Win?
Well, FriendoCast is still on our channel, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas Podcast is the Win. That's.
I'm not disappointed about that.
Unfortunately, that's some of the stuff we made that I don't believe I have backed up anywhere.
It's on. Some of it's on our G drive.
Oh, okay, there you go.
But I don't care.
No, I don't either.
I don't. All that stuff was just like, that was literally paycheck.
Yep.
That was paycheck. But of course, this is here. We talk about wrestling most of the time on Overrun.
Correct.
But I don't know. Is Overrun something you guys want to see? I'm genuinely curious about this. You guys just sort of, is Overrun the kind of thing where you'd want to see movie reviews or just movie talk, pop culture talk?
Yeah, just more general discussion.
General discussion
focused
stuff.
on pro wrestling all the time.
I mean, I like, we always have the non-news. I like that. I want to keep that as a part of it. That's important.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about the thumbnail I made for this one. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's Triple H on the conference call. And then I noticed up there in the corner of his office, he's got like a framed, like the title that Hogan won.
Yeah.
With a red circle around it. And it's 6 hidden things from the conference call. We're just going to talk about Triple H's conference call on non-news today.
Shit you've ever done.
But I think people understand the sort of tongue-in-cheek nature of the clickbaity shit. That's what I like about it, is that it's really silly.
All right.
So anyways, people say I like pop culture stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we talk enough about wrestling. It doesn't all have to be about wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's why I like the Ask Stephen Larsons.
Yeah.
On Fridays.
Yeah.
But, Christopher wants to know, when is WCW and Fun?
2 o'clock.
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
From now. 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So that's very, very fun. Alex C. just noticed at the tail end of the show that I was referring to Greenwich Mean Time as Brexit time.
Oh, you've been doing that for 2 days.
I've been doing that for a couple days now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me laugh to no end. It really tickles me. So anyways, but let's get right into it. We're going to talk about Triple H and NXT conference call. Here's some non-news for you. Oh, Jesus! Non-news brought to you by Cheez-Its.
No, it's not. Fresh dog shit.
If you're waiting for the fresh dog shit to get old and white, then just have some Cheez-Its, I guess. That's a terrifying picture right there of Bill Cosby's face. Julia Stiles, is that article about her getting chunked out or what?
I don't know.
That's messed up.
Failed celebs and now work regular jobs. There's always all sorts of interesting
that's so
ads.
bad. That's so bad.
Interesting ads here on like Pro Wrestling Sheet, for example, or Wrestling Observer.
We should get our own website. I wonder
how we've tried that before.
How much do those ads pay, though?
Pennies. That's why all these digital media companies are going out of business.
Pennies.
Laying off people. BuzzFeed laying off 15% of their staff. Why?
Oh, really?
Digital news, a money loser. Unfortunately, it's the case. Like an online ad-based model, as we found out, it's tough to make consistent income.
It's just us.
Yeah, it works for us, but you have a company like BuzzFeed that apparently they're laying off 50% of their staff, and I think that equates to like 200 people.
Yeah, but
that's a huge company.
That's way too many for BuzzFeed. But could you imagine like how much money?
Sona's come up with all those listicles, man, and questionnaires.
Yeah, but listen, could you imagine if you and I got to split BuzzFeed's revenue just between the two of us?
It would be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we start a website? GoingInRaw.com.
We've done that before. We've started like 3 different websites, and what happens?
Yeah, we never knew. I see. Here's the thing. It couldn't be. We'd have to get somebody to do it for us.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to put ads and stuff in there. That's the thing.
Well, I think that's all AdSense stuff. That's what AdSense started out is ads like this. I'm sure there's like some WordPress or thing template ads, whatever. Anyways, this is from Pro Wrestling Sheet. Here's some noteworthy bullet points from Triple H's NXT Takeover conference call. First, he's asked.
And we're going to read between the lines.
There's really not a whole lot of
things.
Not a lot of hidden things. So someone asked about Velveteen Dream's recent tweets, I think basically saying that he wasn't going to show up again until he got what he wanted from NXT, even though he's on yesterday's episode. Quote, I have not spoken to him about it. You believe that?
No.
He's a remarkable young man with wonderfully gifted, that is wonderfully gifted in all levels. And then he says the dream is adept at generating buzz.
Well, that just means that, here's the hidden thing about that. It's a work.
Yeah, it's totally a work.
That's what you can take
I
from
knew that
that
from the beginning.
It's a work.
About All Elite Wrestling, Triple H said, quote, it's clearly something to keep eyes on.
Feast your eyes on All Elite Wrestling.
We'll do what is right for our business, what is right for WWE, what we feel is right for the WWE universe.
So you can read between the lines.
He's going to try to take all their talent.
He's going to poach the shit out of them, big time, bigly.
He's going to try to.
Dude, the Young Bucks and Kenny, they might be able to take down, turn down that big money.
Yeah.
But as soon as MJF catches a whiff of it, they're paying that dude $60,000. He'll get $600,000
probably,
and then not even be used.
Yep. He's asked about Lars Sullivan. Quote: there's a lot of speculation stories about everybody at all times. Lars is in a good place. Nothing has really changed. We're moving forward, and you'll know when you see it.
So he's in a good place. But you read between the lines there, he's not in as good a place as he could be, which is Cena WrestleMania.
Yes.
So, but that just means that Lars.
I think hopefully means his headspace is in a good space.
I think that's what he means.
Yes.
Yeah. Hidden.
Yes. Wait, hidden?
The hidden things we're finding.
Next, talked about NXT UK will have some involvement at WrestleMania this weekend. Good. Defend the WWE United Kingdom title at WrestleMania. Should be defended there.
It just means they're going to do, you read between the lines, access.
Probably.
Access.
But it should be defended at WrestleMania.
The Worlds Collide thing is this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's going to be a network special, too, I believe, at some point. Apparently, he's been cleared to resume training. Maybe we will see him at Mania. He's got 3 months almost to get in shape for a match against Batista.
Wow.
He says...
so that hidden line's there. Batista's fighting at WrestleMania.
Probably. More performance centers across the globe. And apparently they've already scouted locations for one in India. And I guess they're just trying to figure out the right area of the country to serve as the home base.
Did they end up releasing Mahabali Shera?
I think so.
I think they did too. What a bummer.
And then he talked a bit about The Rock's daughter, Simone, starting training at the Performance Center.
He says, she probably, I know, has the bug of the business. She's caught the love of it from her father. Her dad is The Rock.
Oh.
Noting that The Rock is big on her taking the right steps and getting into the business. So from that, you can read between the lines. He'll sign her to NXT if she's any good.
Well, she's already at the Performance Center. I think, did she already sign a contract, or is she just training there?
Shit, if I know.
All right. Well,
I know she hasn't been at the Performance Center. I don't even want me to text The Rock. I can find out.
Yeah, text The Rock, please. Hi, Dwayne. Hi, Rock.
Dear Dwayne.
Hello, great one.
It's your old friend, Kermit the Frog. Whoa!
All right, we got non-news out of the way. What are we going to talk about now?
Anybody have machinima questions?
Oh, yeah. I got to finish listening to Dude Soup today at the gym.
The whole middle section is talking about various sex acts.
All right, I'm sure that's great.
And I skipped over all that.
Great gym listening.
To the end. But yeah. So all that stuff is deleted. It's just sort of surreal. It's just sort of weird. But oddly, like we could totally like if anybody said, "Hey, what do you think the last chapter is going to be written for Machinima?" This is clearly like
no.
That even back then it was kind of clear that it was going to head towards a whimper.
Alex C says, "So what does the name Machinima actually mean? It's a mashup of machine and cinema."
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Machine cinema.
Machine cinema. Machine animation.
Machine cinema. How many victims were there of the targeted? Oddly enough, for being a serial killer, he never actually killed anybody.
No.
He just made some really sloppy burritos.
Jeffrey asks, "What's going on with Machinima now?" Nothing. They've been enveloped in another corporate or another media company. As part of a Time Warner AT&T merger.
All of the affiliated channels. So yeah, this is what happened. AT&T bought Time Warner for $85 billion.
And at the time of the merger, this is all from Ricky and Elliot's video,
you guys
I believe.
Check it out.
It's really good. Due to that merger, there was some redundancies in their digital media departments. And so they took Machinima, joined it with Otter Media. Otter Media, I guess, is what oversees Full Screen, Rooster Teeth, so on and so forth. Sure. My understanding. In doing so, all the partners, Machinima partners, sounds like hopefully all of them, are going to be sent over to the Full Screen network. Bunch of layoffs at Machinima. And
apparently, the last
Machinima
thing,
as a company pretty much doesn't really exist anymore.
Apparently, the only thing that's still actually filmed at the Machinima studios is DC Daily. And apparently some of the editors and production people still work on that. So hopefully those people will retain their job and still keep on working.
Yes.
Which I'm assuming DC Daily talks about the DC universe.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
On a daily basis is what I'm thinking.
So another disappointing day at the box office for Justice League.
Hey, Aquaman, big money. That made a lot of money. So good for them. So apparently what happened was, because YouTube back then, and I mean now to a degree, but now things are like, even there's like the inverse. Back then, copyright strikes really weren't a thing, and so people would use copyrighted content all over the place. There were some issues with, I guess, some of the licenses for certain music that was used in some early Machinima videos were temporary licenses, and so because there were so many videos, it would cost so much money to have lawyers go vet those videos.
Every single video.
To make sure there were no copyright infringements, because that can add up really quick. If all of a sudden somebody gets a bug up their ass and says, hey, videos A, B, C, D, and E here all have copyright problems, then you're paying for lawyers, you're paying for discovery, you're paying for this, you're paying for that.
So they just thought it was cheaper to just take everything down.
All just because, here's the thing, those videos don't make any money. Like, according to Ricky and Elliott, it was like make a couple dollars a month, you know. And so it just made sense for them to pull them all down rather than spend a ton of money. And
trying
like,
to find the few.
I do remember, like, in our last run
that
there,
were cool, yeah.
They started to like start to get the ship right in terms of like, remember we got like emails saying, hey, we got to start getting releases for all this stuff. We got to make sure you're on solid copyright ground. And we were like, really? Never a problem before. But it was like obviously too little too late. And then about 6 months ago, they just started privating a lot of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you would go down and you'd find like 10 for the Win, like the 10 for the Win playlist.
Yeah, it was,
and half the videos.
No, more than that. Like 90% of them were.
You just like, yeah.
There's just a few here and there that were still public, and then was it Friday? Mm-hmm. Poof. Mm-hmm. Gone.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened.
Jeffrey Nguyen asks, how much does 100,000 views generate on YouTube? It depends on a lot. Depends on the length of the video, how many ads you have in the video. So if you have like a 3-minute...
It depends on the time of the year.
Yeah. If you have like a 3-minute video that has one ad in it, you're not going to be making a lot of money off that. Not a lot.
No, not at all. No. So yeah, I mean, it depends. If you're talking about like a 100,000 viewed, podcast,
and the watch time is good, so people are hitting those ad breaks. Good,
then
you can make a couple $100.
You can make a couple $100 off that.
But if it's a 3-minute video with one ad, not so much.
Yeah.
Jeffrey says YouTube sounds fickle.
Yeah,
fickle.
It is, but I mean, here's the thing about YouTube. I mean, either it's.
Cody Miles says if the content doesn't exist, it actually happened. And that's one of the things Bruce talked about on Dude Soup. I mentioned on the main show is, like now, if anybody who was responsible for creating any of that content anyway tries to use that on the resume, there's no evidence of it.
It would be. I mean, here's the thing about that. Anybody who's creating anything, and I assume that this is one of the main reasons because look, the fact that you said like 70 to 80% of 10 for the Win is backed up in your house.
Yeah, I have a lot of it.
In your house, 10 for the Win.
There you go.
I'm assuming one of the reasons you probably did that is because you wanted to make sure you had stuff available for your reel.
Exactly.
Because if you lost your job, which you did, you'd need a reel, and that's smart. Was there any other particular reason you did that?
I just like archiving stuff.
Yeah.
Like, not only do I keep most of the episodes, like...
It's a hobby of yours.
Well, I mean, like, I just didn't know when we might need stuff in the future. Whenever we had gameplay, when we kept gameplay, I always kept it.
Because
we never knew when we might need it in the future.
Yeah.
I mean, now we don't need it, really, so I can, in theory, get rid of it. But just every time we capped anything, I want to make sure we held on to it in case we needed it for episode 3 years down the line.
Yeah.
Thayer asks, can you ask them for the 10 for the Win playlist so you can offer that as a Patreon tier? Like I said, we have... probably 80% of what we did backed up. Can't really talk about if we're going to be able to do anything with it yet.
Just stay tuned.
James Rodriguez says, "Is Larson the hoarder?" No, I just make sure. I just want to make sure. Like if we capped something very particular in GTA 5 for one episode, that I just didn't use it that one episode and get rid of it, because who knows if we're going to need something like that again in the future. Yeah,
we definitely reuse footage a lot. Patrick Sparks, want us to ask Stephen Lacey. I have one in the can. I just haven't cut it yet. It's a pretty funny one because Alabama lies in it.
She lies?
She said I called her stupid, and I never did that.
Wow.
She said, Daddy used bad word. And I said, what bad word? She said, stupid. I was like, what? I said, who did I call stupid? She said, me.
Wow.
She lied.
Well, you lied to her too, so.
What are you talking about?
You're telling her I took stuff from her school.
I have no evidence that you didn't.
You have ample evidence.
No, I don't.
You do. You say anytime.
Do you have video proof that you did
anytime
not
you
visit
say
her school?
something's missing of her is missing from the house. Oh, Larson took it.
She started that though. And I had no evidence that she said Larson took it. And I said, really? And she said, yes. What am I going to not believe? What do you think she might have evidence. I don't know.
No, she has no evidence. No evidence. Mr. Dope says that's Patriots fans for you.
Whoa, hold on a second. Look, it's not my fault.
Fan.
Whatever crap team you pay attention to didn't make it to the Super Bowl.
Fan.
Mr. Dope. Let's see here. I'm going back a little ways with this. Chris wants me to sing
No.
Together forever and ever.
We had plenty of that yesterday. We don't need any more of that. No.
Together forever and ever with Piggy.
One thing all this machinima news has gotten me is usually I'm not a terribly sentimental individual.
Yeah.
But it's got me, thinking about the good times.
Interesting. Yeah. Dude, there really was nothing like. I always loved when, because Lacey used to come home in the afternoons back then, and she would show up, and you were in a Katamari Damacy costume with a guitar, and I was dressed up in something, and she would be like, "What the hell is even going on here?"
Yeah.
And she would be endlessly tickled to think that you used to just roll over to my house. We would spend so much time. And granted, it wasn't that much time, but those those little short films that we would do were pretty inspired for a span of time. They were very inspired, and we had a really good time doing them.
Yeah.
And to have that be our job, and I remember going to the Inside Gaming Awards, and that was it was just surreal because there's 600 people out there. We get to present an award.
Yeah, I know.
It was it was
crazy.
really really good.
Even
times.
just going back to when I still lived in LA and worked at the very first office I think they had, where it was just 6 of us jammed in one small hot room. Just to see the company grow and doing all sorts of different things, like the Lord of the Rings stuff. I don't know if I have that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that I have. I might have some of it. I don't know. The Lord of the Rings series we did, the game Conquest of Middle Earth. That was the first major thing I did for Machinima.
Yeah.
And busted my ass making it. And it wasn't the best because I'd never done Machinima before, but I did it and it came out all right.
Yeah.
Considering it was a heavy dialogue piece and none of the characters could move their mouth. Do what I could.
Yeah.
But even though that was tons of work, it was fulfilling because the end result it did really well. It did really well.
The only
for the company.
Only bad memory I have of the company, besides getting laid off, was when the damn paychecks were so damn late. They had their accounting department for a span of time. It was 6 months. It was I could always count my paycheck being super super late. They always paid me. I always got paid. But they would give me the runaround so much. And apparently they got a lot of people gave the runaround to a lot of people, a lot of freelancers. Stevie Bradley, did Ricky and Elliot reach out to you too when they were looking to start their own channel and find a business structure? Not. I might have talked to Elliot about Patreon stuff, but not really. They knew what they were doing. They were in the same space as us for a while. So no, not really. They had a pretty seamless transition from Machinima to their independent channel.
Based on the video they just put out, it seems like they had plenty of time to get all their stuff in order before.
Yeah, I talked to Elliot a little bit during all that stuff, and they, by and large, Machinima, he seemed to like that. I mean, that's what he even said in the video. He seemed, the people that were the higher ups were really cool. I guess one of the reasons they didn't get the actual ETC channel simply had to do with the faceless higher ups at Warner Brothers, not the higher ups at Machinima. It was like the super overlords had whatever legal issues they had with handing over the ETC channel to those guys. So yeah. Alex C., what content on a different Machinima affiliated channel are you most proud of?
Did we do any sort of?
Well, we did. We participated in Creepy Text Theater.
Yeah, we did some stuff on ETC, but I don't know if he meant like a partner channel. I don't think we did anything for a partner channel.
No.
Shooting Creepy Text Theater was always fun.
That was awesome.
Then we just show up at the office. People just like, hey, come on our show.
Yeah. For me, honestly, it was the Inside Gaming Awards. Nothing will beat that because that was like when everything was great. That's when everything was so good, and everybody just like we would just show up, and everybody was happy to see us.
Oh, Alex D says I just mean collabs with other Machinima guys. Dan.
Yeah, I mean, just at the very least, this podcast would probably be called Tree of Woe if it wasn't for having met Dan. I mean, I would imagine we probably still would have gone into the wrestling sphere. Just we would have had a different name because Dan named the show. All these logos, they would have looked the exact same except it said Tree of Woe.
Yeah.
Giant woe at the bottom and then Tree up at the bottom at the top.
Yeah.
That's what it would have. Some weird alternate universe stuff right there.
Jeffrey asked, we know the kind of funny guys. We met Greg Miller briefly.
Did we?
At one of the 2K things. He was there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that's kind of all.
Yeah.
I don't really know much more about them. I mean, that's the funny thing, dude, is that like, so I enjoy playing video games. Like, you and I both get a kick out of playing certain video games that we're into.
Because they make us laugh.
But like, neither of us were really ever like super. I remember doing the top 10 reasons Battlefield 2 was better than Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I didn't know dick about any of that stuff.
Yep. Same here.
Any of it.
That's why the early episode when we had stuff to do, generally we're not talking about games at all. It was just random stuff.
It was just us yapping away, like trying to make each other laugh. Some people are asking if we knew James back during the Machinima day, and no. James, we didn't hear from him.
We found out he liked our show.
Did we?
Yeah, and then we sent him a shirt.
Is that how it worked?
I believe so. Because we both knew Brett Hundar from Machinima.
Yeah.
That's my recollection.
Did Brett reach out to us?
That I don't remember. Because we sent him a shirt, and then they sent us some stuff.
Yeah.
And then we didn't meet him until we did the New Japan recap, right?
True, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forget how all that got situated, though.
Just
I think maybe I just told Brett, hey, I'm a big fan of Couch Hop.
Maybe.
Or maybe he reached out. Oh, I think Brett reached out and said, hey, do you want to do a shirt swap because James is a fan of the show?
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I know, it's funny because he was like, the creatures, obviously, they were a big Machinima thing. But I didn't know about any of that. So like I had heard about them, and then we'd met Dex a couple times.
Yeah.
But I didn't know any about the creatures drama stuff until like way after the fact.
Thayer wants to know if we'll ever send Wolfgang a Slow Wolfpack shirt.
It's every time I see him, it's like it hits my head. I'm like, I really need to do that. I need to get.
Yeah.
If somebody finds the address for the British Performance Center, that's probably the easiest way to do it.
I guess so.
I'll totally do that. I will totally do that. Bud Ryan, are you guys going to do the new YouTube membership thing? We haven't talked about it, but it seems like it'd be a good idea for us to give it a good look.
Mm-hmm. Just trying to way so it's not like we're double dipping though, because there's a lot of
I'll put it this way:
a lot of crossover with
whatever we do. If we do something for the YouTube membership, it will simply be an additional way to access the same stuff that the $5 patrons access currently, because I do not want somebody giving $5 in Patreon and then expect, oh, I also need to give up $5 for the YouTube membership. I don't want that at all. If people out there, for whatever reason, philosophically have an issue giving money to Patreon, which I understand some people do, and they're totally fine adding it to their YouTube bill, it would be silly for us not to sort of take advantage of that. But yeah, like he said, we don't want to double dip. Like we want, give us $5 and you get this stuff. I don't care how we get the $5, you get this stuff. And I think there's a way. I do think there's a way we can do that. I think the community tab you can open to members, and that's where you link people
that's my understanding too.
So yeah. Ricky Scurvy, would you guys have joined an MCN or Machinima if you knew what you know now about how they work? I would not have joined Machinima ever.
I don't know if
as
I
an
would
MCN.
have joined. The thing, the company that we're working with now, I mean, I guess in theory it's kind of an MCN, but it's not the huge behemoth ones that kind of still exist. They're offering us very particular services.
Mm-hmm. They're a management company.
Yeah, more so than anything.
Yeah, they're a management company. They find advertising deals for us. One thing that I haven't done that I really need to freaking do. This is why I want to do another comic book so bad, because I want to get something. I don't want to give it to them. And say, hey, let's see if we can get this made into a movie. You know. That's what I want to freaking do, which is probably a terrible way of getting a movie made, but that's how it starts.
Thera thinks you still owe him a shirt. You still owe Thera a shirt?
Oh, probably. I don't think I actually owe him one. I just said I'd give him one because he's so active in the community. So he really likes the Patreon shirt. And I'm like, yeah, Thera's done a lot of stuff.
Big Jeff just tweeted, I mean, maybe the belt in the background news, but how'd you miss the monitor with the menu screen for Bejeweled 3 on Triple H's death? Great point. Great point.
That's great. But yeah, no, we're with. I mean, I do think it is smart if you can manage to get with a company that really has, like our manager right now is literally used to be a writer for WWE. Like he has Vince McMahon stories, and so he is like perfectly suited. And they work really really well with us.
Everything's been great.
Everything's been great with them. So if you can get like that kind of situation, but just sort of sight unseen, oh no, I'm just going to go with these people without a plan is not a good idea.
Thayer says it was for the all-in raffle shirt. Like it's a token of appreciation, I guess, maybe.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, whatever. No, I have no problem sending it to you.
Right, yeah, that's fine.
I do owe you a shirt. I'm sorry.
Alex C says, what hidden details are there in the background of the Going in Raw set?
Hidden details.
There's a piece of Matt from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3.
Yeah. There's nothing underneath. Underneath it is just a bunch of vents.
There's a wall with some vents.
They're vents.
I think there's an electrical panel over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing really that interesting underneath.
Not really.
No, none at all. Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah, Alabama did used to say that Larson broke her pumpkin. And again, I have no... He comes to my house. He used to come to my house a bunch.
But the pumpkin was at her school.
If you could erase... Patrick Sparks with a great question. If you could erase one serial killer from history...
Oh, wow.
Who would that be? Okay, so just for the sake of saying that a life is a life is a life, I will go with whomever killed the most lives.
That's what I was thinking too.
Therefore, I don't know who the most prominent guy is, but that guy they just arrested or that just started copping to a bunch of them, and he's like on number 90 on his confession list.
Oof.
That's a ton.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot. So maybe him, but then again, if you consider Hitler a serial killer, which I don't think he fits into the definition of like what the actual meaning of a serial killer is. A lone guy who goes around, not the head of a government who's using his government stuff, an individual going around killing people. I mean, you just go with whoever's killed the most people and you get rid of them and you get the most people back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. On the other hand, how about this? What about this, though? You know my philosophy on humans. Adults generally can be really crappy people. So maybe it's the serial killer who killed the most kids. Because kids, to me, are the most precious.
Yes.
So there you go. Whoever killed the most kids.
On Wikipedia, they have a list of serial killers by most victims. So apparently there's someone in South America who apparently proven murdered 138 people, but possible victims upwards of 300 potentially.
Wait, who? Sorry?
Luis Garavito.
Oh, wow. What year was that?
92 to 99.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see here.
No, the Green River Killer killed 49, proven. Upwards of 90 maybe.
Alex C. says, who is it you did that summer movie review thing with Michael Douglas? That was Ricky and Elliott. That was on ATC. That's probably gone now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Although I know at least the video was on Twitter for a spell. Somebody has a chunk of that video. Ricky or Elliott should have it somewhere. Cody Miles, for April Fools, you should completely rebrand a Tree of Woe for the day and as Tree of Woe for the day.
That'd be funny.
And no sell any comments.
That'd be funny.
Just act like we're in an alternate universe. That's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea.
Stephen Larson, Zach Stolbe wants to know if we still watch What Culture. I don't. I do not.
I honestly don't really watch a whole lot of YouTube anymore.
I keep on meaning to watch more. I watched like a Cultaholic video the other day. It's like a top 10 wrestlers who still work at, or who used to work at, who had some matches at Impact. The thing about What Culture that like once the new people took over, I watched one of their videos, and it might be like I know like Simon. I love Simon. I think Simon's great. Simon knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And the other guys have a job to do. I just noticed that the guys that I saw, anyways, they didn't really know what they were talking about because that wasn't their thing.
Yeah.
And they were thrown in that position.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were thrown in the position.
Especially in like the early days. Yeah.
That's their job. That's great. But no, I haven't. So I haven't. After that, I just was like, well, those aren't the guys that I remember. So
yeah, Simon's awesome though.
But I mean, they're Simon's great, and I hope they do good. I don't know. We met the other guy, one of the other guys, Phil. I think his name is Phil.
All right.
Pretty sure his name is Phil.
Yeah, he was nice.
Super nice guy.
Yeah,
really good guy. Maybe one day I'll check it out. Let's see here. Jameson, have you ever thought of doing a large live stream pay-per-view gathering watch party for Patreon people in the future? We've never really considered that.
Yeah. Haven't really considered it because we'd have to rent the place.
When we do,
one reason there's a lot of orchestration that we'd have to do. It's not really our thing.
And also on top of that, like I'm not sure how many people would actually show up for that because like it's Patreon, so it's like when you close that down for patrons only,
we have like 2 people show up.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna fly in for that.
James says, I missed the Friendoville podcast and the failed attempt at trying to bang on top of a unicorn in The Witcher 3. Yeah, I thought it was much sooner.
Yeah,
in the game.
I mean, it seemed like it was really early on.
Well, that's maybe something we can put on a Friendoville Gamecast thing. We can try to bang the unicorn, or I'll play it till it gets to that point. Then I'll bring you in and be like, hey,
all
look.
right. So I just get the.
Because I know you're not going to be into it.
No, I don't really play video games.
But I wouldn't mind getting your reaction to people banging on a unicorn.
Some unicorn smashing.
Yes.
Or smashing a top unicorn.
Yeah.
Not the unicorn that's getting smashed. Yeah.
Michael V says, hey guys, real quick before I get back to killing bed bugs, you're the only thing I know on YouTube. What is Machinima? It's where we used to work.
It's where we used to work. It was one of the more popular YouTube channels.
Gaming, pop culture, entertainment
channel. At one point,
channel.
I think the most viewed YouTube channel, like in 2011.
Used
to work there. I worked there from 2008. Well, as an employee from 2008 to 2015. Another year or so as a freelancer. Yeah. That's where we got our start. Gaming stuff. So Ricky Scurvy asked Stephen Larson Con. Thought about it, but no one's going to come to Sacramento just to see us. We'd have to have like James or the Funhouse guys come up or something.
Yeah, I mean, as much
draw. We're not draws, is what I'm saying.
As cool as FriendoCon is, our drawing power is. I mean, I would say in the wrestling realm, we're solid mid-carders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Cultaholic or main eventers. Mm-hmm. Maybe we're upper mid-carders. Because Cultaholic's main eventers. Matthew from Botchamania is like super solid. Like he's like
I don't know, man. I'd say he's a main eventer. He was involved at StarCast. Like he had his own show at StarCast.
Well, they could have had that.
Probably,
if
maybe.
They came out.
Yeah.
I would say Cultaholic's like Universal. Here's the thing. They brought him onto their pod. They hired him for their podcast.
Yeah.
So I say they're Universal champion.
All right.
Matthew is WWE champion.
All right.
I think that we're Intercontinental.
No. Brian Zane's Intercontinental champion.
I don't know, man. I kind of feel like we fight.
We're U.S. champion.
I feel like we take him on for the Intercontinental champion.
I don't know, man.
I kind of think that way.
I feel like we're U.S. champ.
I do.
We're U.S. champion. That's how I feel. It's a good spot.
IC champion.
It's a good spot.
IC champion. Our content creator is able to get booze at. Man, we're late. We got to go.
Yeah.
Save your questions for next time, everybody.
Yeah, we got a whole nother thing on Friday.
Hey,
so.
if you guys want to ask more questions, there's an Ask Steven Larson thread on the Patreon. Mm-hmm. We're going to be filming that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
ask him there.
Ask him on that thread, and we'll answer him. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.